It began with a single text, just one message that shifted everything. If you've ever believed that one small choice couldn't rewrite your life, wait until you hear Daniel's story. He was a husband, a father, and by all means, a decent man. But the night he met Emily, everything he thought he understood about love, loyalty, and happiness started to fall apart. Daniel had been married to Laura for 8 years. They'd met in college, fell fast, and built a peaceful life in the Oregon suburbs. 2 kids, a cozy house, and a golden retriever named Max. On the surface, they looked picture-perfect. But beneath the smiles and family photos, something had quietly faded. The laughter came less often. The spark dimmed. Laura, who once looked at him with warmth, now looked at him with tired eyes. Daniel wasn't unfaithful, not yet, not physically. But his heart was beginning to drift. Late nights at work became a convenient escape. Not because he needed to stay, but because the silence at home felt heavier than any workload. That's when Emily appeared. She was a freelance designer brought in for a project at Daniel's firm. From the first moment they spoke, there was a charge between them. Not the kind that burns everything down, but the kind that wakes something sleeping inside you. Emily was unlike anyone Daniel had met. Bold, charming, spontaneous. She listened, really listened, and laughed like she meant it. What started as casual work chat turned into something deeper. They began talking about dreams, regrets, and the small, unnoticed details of life. Daniel found himself checking his phone more often, waiting for her replies. He told himself it was innocent. Everyone needs a friend, right? But the day he started deleting their messages so Laura wouldn't see them, he knew it wasn't just friendship anymore. One rainy evening, after a late meeting, Daniel offered Emily a ride home. The downpour blurred the world outside as they sat in the car, headlights reflecting on slick pavement. The air was thick with something unspoken. Emily looked at him and whispered, "Do you ever feel like you're living a life you didn't choose?" The question hit deeper than she could know. Because yes, he did. He didn't touch her that night, but something within him had already crossed the line. Weeks passed, and their bond grew stronger. Coffee breaks, lunches, excuses to see each other. Daniel started imagining a different life, one filled with lightness, laughter, and freedom. But every time he saw Laura reading bedtime stories or folding tiny clothes, guilt twisted in his chest. He stood at a crossroads. One road led to comfort and duty, the other to chaos and passion. Then one Friday evening, Laura found the text. It wasn't explicit, just a simple, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow." But it was enough. The look in her eyes when she showed him will haunt Daniel forever. Her voice didn't crack, but her heart did. "Who is she, Daniel?" she asked. He tried to explain, but they both knew the truth. For days, silence filled their home. Laura moved into the guest room. Daniel felt the weight of everything closing in. Even Emily began to see the damage. She didn't want to be the other woman. What once felt exciting now felt wrong. One night, Daniel went to see her for what would be the last time. Candles flickered as they sat in her apartment. He reached for her hand, but she pulled away. "We both know this won't end well," she whispered, tears in her eyes. And in that moment, Daniel understood. He was about to destroy everything for something that couldn't last. He left without looking back. The drive home felt endless. The next morning, he told Laura everything. No excuses. No lies. He confessed that his heart had wandered, but that he still loved her, that he wanted to rebuild if she'd let him. Laura listened quietly, eyes red but steady. "You broke something in me," she said softly. "I just don't know if it can be fixed." The months that followed were brutal. Therapy, late-night talks, time apart. There were moments Daniel thought it was over. But slowly, painfully, they began to rebuild. The love that returned wasn't the same. It was fragile, but more honest. Daniel earned back her trust piece by piece. Emily left the company soon after. He never saw her again, though sometimes she crossed his mind, not with longing, but with gratitude. She hadn't ruined his life. She had revealed it. She made him face who he truly was and what he truly wanted. Years later, Daniel and Laura stood side by side at their daughter's graduation. She leaned into him, her hand slipping into his. It wasn't perfect, but it was real. He finally understood. Love isn't about fireworks or constant thrill. It's about choosing the same person every single day, even when it hurts. That's the truth of what happened. Daniel met someone who changed his life, but not in the way he imagined. Sometimes the one who changes you isn't the one you end up with. They're the one who reminds you of what you almost lost.